This is LST 393, which is landing ship tank. It's one of only two that's still afloat. There were hundreds of these built, maybe thousands. And I'm going to take a tour here through this ship. This vessel served in World War II over in Normandy, and it would get really close up to the shore, and then Army tanks and vehicles and troops would come down the ramp over here, and so we're going to go up inside. Originally, after World War II, the ship was bought by Sand Products Company, and they ran it as an automobile carrier between Muskegon and Milwaukee. It was known as the Highway 16, which is named after the old highway in Michigan. They have various displays over here. That's Glenn Miller's Moonlight Serenade, something I played many, many times in the big bands I play in. Got all sorts of displays here. This is actually the tank deck. That's where the Sherman tanks used to be. The information I have, this ship was built in 1942 and decommissioned in 1946. So it was only in the military service for 4 years. Okay, the washrooms here. And the bunk beds and locker rooms. Can you imagine being cooped up in a bunk this size? Looks like about 4 feet. I'm 6 feet tall. Guess where I would be? But they were cooped up here for weeks on end while they journeyed across the Atlantic. Okay. I hope I got some of this just in case, but this is a EMD locomotive engine made by General Motors. It's a 2-cycle. And that's connected to this generator here, I do believe. Let's go back over here. As I said before, this is looking into the air box. Right up in here, that's a cylinder. You can't see it in there, but there's some scavenging ports in there. And that thing up there in the front, I'll go back over here. This is the Roots blower, like you see on dragster engines. Okay? And then your these are your exhaust ports that come up here. This is the other engine. There's another EMD locomotive engine. well, maybe it wasn't generator, but this here, down here, that's a lay shaft lever, and this here works the fuel rack, which controls the amount of fuel that goes into the cylinder, and then it goes this over here. This here is the governor overspeed relay over here. They put out 1,200 horsepower, maximum of 800 RPM, and these are your fuel filters right here. So there's another view of the Roots blower. Detroit diesels and dragster engines have something very similar to this, and if you look at it, it's kind of, it does look like a Roots blower. So apparently this is a gearbox that's on here, I guess. I thought it was diesel electric, but apparently it's not. So you can imagine how hot it would be down here. It's hot here right now without the engines running, and you can imagine how hot this would really be. These things just lift off, but if I lift that off, I'll probably get yelled at. Inside there, per cylinder, you have 3 rocker arms, and the middle one is the fuel injector, and the outside 2 are your exhaust valves. So it works the opposite of a Detroit diesel. And in a Detroit diesel, the Roots blower would be right up on top, and then the air would come down through, and then it would be exhausted out here, okay? And they would have an exhaust manifold that comes out. And this is the opposite way, that the air comes from the Roots blower into here, and then it goes through the exhaust valves out here and out here. So that's how that works. That's the difference between the two. Okay, right down here it's very difficult to see, but that's the fuel pump, and there's your fuel line going down to the fuel tank. Yeah, there's something else I forgot to tell you there. These are compression releases. So they're also used to purge any moisture out of the cylinders, such as water that gets in there because it can damage the piston. But when you start these things, you just simply open this up here, and it's a compression release. And I used to work these things on 5208X CNO and W2. So let's see what it says here. Yeah, 8.5-inch bore with a 10-inch stroke. So it says 900 brake horsepower, 744 RPM. On the railroad, they're set up for a maximum of 800 RPM. Okay, this is the galley. Okay, this is the view of the pilot house.